My name is Tony. I'm from TSRgrow. Here I am, Jason Calderon over at Bonsai Buds. Welcome, Jay. Thanks for showing us around the facility today. So give me a little bit of the history of Bonsai Buds, how you started out and where you came from.
So Bonsai Buds was I guess you'd call it a dream that was formulated in my basement at my house. I've been a medical patient and caregiver in the Rhode Island program since inception. And it was pretty much like an underground market for a long time. But they started to allow medical in the state. And so I started to see the, people that I knew and people that I had been associated with starting to make the transition over to the medical market. And I always said to myself, I'll never be involved in that. I'll never get in the medical market. It was not something that would really be attainable.
Well, they wouldn't make it easy for you.
That was for sure. I just thought it was ultimately going to be left to people that had, exorbitant amount of money and connections. So I had it in my head, okay, I am interested. If we can work out the details of this, then I'll do it. Because when you're doing a project like this, it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of planning, a lot of planning. And I knew it was all going to rest on me because, I'm going in, I don't have a lot of money, so everything I got to do is my legwork.
Sweat equity, buddy.
It's all sweat equity. I can't pay somebody to do it. I had to do it all. From that point, it was, research, planning, research, tons
And you
of
did it like scaling too. Like you didn't do it all at once. Like you definitely.
So I laid the building out in its entirety. But I broke it down into stages. So when we'd start this one, and then eventually would have the full project done. But I did do the full project because I needed to. There were certain parts of the aspect of the design that made sense to do all up front. The HVAC system.
Yep.
Certain things that made sense. Build the room out, just don't outfit it.
Yep.
Things that would make it easier moving forward to expand. So we started off with 2 flower rooms and a bedroom with the ability to expand to 4 flower rooms. So we initially started up our first 2 years was with 2 rooms. We got those down to, we were maximizing out of those 2 rooms and then the market had started to pick up and we were selling out 100% of everything we were growing. So it was time to start the new room build out. So we built out the 3rd room.
Yep.
Got that into production, got that going. So we did that, we made that switch. We eventually opened up the 3rd large flower room and got this building to capacity.
That's cool.
So that, and it was, everything is, trial and error. Trying to make sure that you allocated the right amount of people for what you need to do. We're a semi-automated facility, so we have some stuff that's automation, but most of it is hands-on.
Yep.
So, we had to work with things and figure out exactly how many hands we were going to need. And now we're at full capacity in this building.
That's great, man.
We can do about 100 pounds a month.
Oh wow! So we're doing 100 pounds a month. That's great.
That's what we average here, about 100 pounds a month.
That's really good. That's impressive. You guys are cranking it. What style of growing do you do?
A single level, 15-gallon pots.
Yep.
1 plant per light on average, and large scale plants, staked as opposed to trellis net, and just we try to maximize what we get from each plant as opposed to, 500 plants, just basically trying to get what you get out of each one. And your yield is dependent on your volume. Where we have set volume, so our yield is dependent on how much attention and what type of quality we put into it.
Quality is always going to outweigh, for sure.
So we pride ourselves as a craft cannabis. So everything, like I said, is all hands-on. We want to have that hands-on, one-on-one with every plant, tried daily.
Well, you know what's going on in the grow too. I mean, that's the key of it. Like if you're not in the grow every day, seeing, feeling, touching, smelling, like identifying, that's the key. I mean, craft cultivation, I mean.
You know, and we're big here. We you know, we don't use any pesticides. You know, we don't use any gimmick sanitation things. I mean, what we do is cleanliness, 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 cleanliness. You know, and that's how we are able to pass all our tests. You know, put out premium quality cannabis, never have to spray, never have to bomb, you know, and don't have issues that can happen in large scale grows if you're not paying attention all the time.
For sure.
You know, and you know, obviously the bigger the canopy is, the harder it is to pay attention to detail on it all, you know, and yield, you know, what you're trying to yield from it. And so that's kind of what we do here at Bonsai.
Different. How many cultivars at any one time?
We grow 15 different cultivars in the facility. That's what our number that we try to keep on hand.
Always rotating?
Yep, 3 rooms, 5 cultivars per room. Our job is to produce the best quality product we can produce. Always 100% be looking at the end user as our sole motivation for what we do.
Producing the best quality flower for the end patient.
I grow this flower like I'm giving it all to my mom.
Yep.
My mom's an MS patient, and I want her to have access to the cleanest, purest, best stuff that she can get her hands on. So I grow anything that I grow like I'm giving it to her. And you
That's
know,
awesome. That's a good mantra to like live by. I mean,
yeah,
realistically.
it does, because I mean, if you're not going to give your mom something with pesticides or bugs, or you shouldn't give it to anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And put out that when you see our name, you know what you're getting.
You're getting some of the best quality product out there. For sure.
And that's what we want, you know, and we want people to talk about. And when they say, hey, who's quality? And then, you know, right off the top, they should be saying our name. And, you know, we have a reputation of high-end quality cannabis.
What brought you to TSRgrow? What brought Bonsai Buds to TSRgrow?
So we were, like I said, we were in our expansion, and I needed to start buying the equipment for the build out in the next flower room. So then I started to go out and do some research on some new lighting. And you know, I narrowed it down to a couple of different lighting companies, and then I came across TSR and started to talk with you guys, started to do research on you guys' research, and started putting PFD numbers behind you know, the actual equipment, and doing apple-to-apple tests and demos and side-by-sides, and then, you know, the fact that you guys were local, you know, the equipment was, you know, US made, and I kind of got that sense again, like, all right, here's a guy that these guys are really thinking about the quality of the light. They're not just mass producing these things, cheapest boards they can get, cheapest diodes, and pump them out and live off of a name. I was like, these guys are actually standing by what they do, and you know, so it kept me more and more intrigued, and then the time came, and you know, I said, all right, well, you know, let me get a demo light in to try it out, let me see the specs on it, see what it looks like, and all that. I did that, and I was very happy with the lights, and ultimately decided to make the move on the first grow room to outfit what we needed with TSR lights. And subsequently, that first room that we put them in was a hybrid room, so it had leftover Fluence lights that we had from the carryover from Flower Room 4 downgrade, and then we needed to outfit 2 more lines with the TSR lights, so we were able to put both specs in the room and subsequently get a side-by-side again with what was going on. And we were just extremely happy with, you know, what the production we were getting from the TSRs. You know, we ultimately felt like, hey, we're gonna get a great product, and not only that, we're going to get the support on the back end from these guys.
We pride ourselves in that too, giving people, you know, I'm saying everyone's an individual. We want everyone to be a referral.
You know, and you know, I like having a face behind a name when I call, and I know who I'm talking to, you know, that was big, and just being able to call and talk to somebody, not have to be like, all right, wait for a call back, or I mean, I don't.
No call centers there.
Yeah, there's no call center. It's like I call and I'm getting the person on the other line that I need, and that makes us a lot more efficient, and it saves money, and it's all the things that the partnership that we were looking for in a lighting company.
Love it.
And because it's not the days of just going to the store and buying lights and throwing them up, and you just do your thing. There's a lot that continually happens after the fact, and making sure that you keep those standards up, and that you are doing the right things, and using the equipment the right way, and tweaking things to make them better, and having the source to be able to call up and be like, hey, we're thinking this, and we can communicate back and forth, and teach each other things.
Which is like we did that too with going from, I remember when we did that first room, it was under a certain wattage and certain power, and then we were talking about transitioning to the next room and maybe even going a little bit more power in that room.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, and we knew that was going to be some learning curves in that.
Right.
Because we transitioned, and that's changed a little bit how you grow a little.
It did.
You kind of had to trial and error that because we gave you a little bit more power.
Right.
Well, discussed power.
Right.
And now that.
So I mean, it's been a easy transition with having being able to work with you guys as team.
Great, thank you.
It's no question goes unanswered, no phone call goes unmissed, and we continually getting hey, how's things going? We just want to follow up, make sure everything's going good. Like you get that mom and pop feel, but from obviously a large company that's not a mom and pop, but there's a lot that goes to say about that style of interaction, that mom and pop style, that trust, that comfortability, that, feeling like you're talking to a friend, as opposed to dealing with a salesman who's trying to sell you this or sell you that or tell you what's great or what's not great, and so it's been a great experience. And so obviously when it came time to outfit the new room, you guys were the only person we called,
I'd like to hear that.
And so it was like, all right, this is what I want, this is what I'm covering, how many lights do you think I need, this is what I think I need, but like again,
Let's do some math. Let's do some math.
Let's make sure that we're all looking at this the same way, and boom, boom, come back. Yep, we're good. All right, let's move forward on the project.
So cool.
And then the new room's outfitted.
How do you feel like with the increase in power? Did it increase how you were saying that you got some great yields in that?
Yeah.
room?
So we took what was standard a 80-pound room. And we've got it up, close to 95 pounds. So we've gained about 15%, 20% increase
Per harvest or per
harvest.
month? Okay.
Per harvest on that room with the 750 watt drivers versus the 600 watt drivers.
That's cool.
And also we've had to scale the light intensity back. So it's a transition as well. We build into the strength of the light, and then we taper down from the strength of the light on the harvest. So as the harvest is increasing and growing and getting bigger, we increase the light intensity. And then as it's starting to finish off and get ready towards harvest, we taper down the intensity.
Yeah, and then and you've noted you've had to change. I was saying that's part of the growing style. You had you recognize that, so then you have to adjust.
I mean they are a very powerful light, and I originally growing up and growing, I always never imagined that there was too much light. I just never thought that was even an option. And obviously, that's what I'm saying. You're always still learning, because I came to learn that there is too much light, and and that was a new learning curve with the new lights. But now we've got those dialed in, and we figured out what that is. And like I said, we've got a 15 to 20% increase on yield.
That's huge.
That's huge.
That's
you know,
huge.
when you
And
haven't had to do anything else, you know, nothing else has changed.
Do you have to adjust your watering and your feed rate a little bit, though? I think you probably have to increase that
Well,
a little bit because
we
the plant's probably a
definitely,
little bit more
we probably feed maybe an extra gallon at feeding time
Okay.
versus what we were doing before. You know, so our volume on gallons wise per month has increased slightly.
But it's not.
But it nowhere near the offset of
The yield.
what a 15% yield increase is. You know,
15, 20 pounds, that's a big jump.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's,
that's a
you know.
big ass jump.
so
That's for sure.
we've been totally happy with the lights. Extremely happy with the people behind the lights.
Love that.
And you know, I just couldn't imagine going to any other light.
I love it, man. Thank you so much. What do you see your future here at Bonsai? Where do you guys, what's the plans for the next steps?
So, Rhode
That's a
Island-
loaded question. You don't have to share all
Yeah,
that too. It's
Rhode
like-
Island's a
a
funny,
tough market.
It's a funny market, and we will grow with the need.
Yeah.
We have the ability to scale up. We will never scale down. We have the ability to scale up, and when the market needs us to scale up, we'll scale up.
That's awesome.
And you know, we have the allocation, we have the space to do so. So you know, depending on the market and what they call for, you know, that'll forecast where we go.
Forecast the future for you because
Yeah.
it's going to be open. But well, awesome, Jay. Thank you so much for your time today. This has been great.
Tony, thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming out.
Awesome, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Can't wait for the next expansion and see what's going on. I love seeing how you guys are doing and seeing how you're growing, and this is all good things.
Appreciate it. Thank
Great,
you.
man. Thank you so much.